Good morning, welcome at forextrading.com. It's 7 minutes after 4 a.m. in the morning Eastern Standard Time. We are having 31st December, so we are having the last day of this year. I'm not really thinking about some serious trading today, but we can discuss the last week's situation and coming to the new year, January, which might be decisive for next few months of the trading at indexes, stocks, and currencies as well. So we are looking at S&P 500 index, which looks like still growing. So it's keeping its slow pace, but I'm saying for last few days that what we see is really small to medium size candles on the chart. So there is no big demand, no big buyers coming in. And the question is how the January will start. I mean, the first couple of weeks of January will tell us if the big buyers will come to continue this rise, or there will be no big buyers like at this moment, and some bigger sellers might be interested in coming to the market. So we could see some kind of more of retracement than this small breath right here. So I'm not saying I'm expecting anything. I'm trying to stay impartial, but looking at this chart from a last period of time, last couple of weeks, I'm seeing that there is no strong demand, so there are no strong buyers coming in at the market. So it is continuing because of the lack of sellers. So we have to differentiate the movement, upward movement, when there is no sellers or there are strong buyers. And sometimes there are strong buyers and no sellers. And those are moments like here when nobody's selling and somebody is buying very strongly. So those are three situations that we must see impartially at the price chart. So now we are talking about situation where when we are waiting for important buyers to come into the market, to enter the trade, to give us another pace for next few weeks or few months for another uptrend. If it doesn't happen, we might see after January or February some bigger retracement to the downside. Let's see how Mr. Pound is doing. We are looking at the pound from the medium downtrend perspective. And this downtrend situation looks like started to consolidate. You see this flag like right here. It was supposed to break to the downside, and it did. But it was kind of fake breakout, and the price came back to the comfortable zone from before. And we see some important buyers coming in. But again, we seen some new highs, and sellers came back to the market. And again and again. So the situation looks like familiar from before when the flag channel, beautiful channel, was continuing, but there was really no significant strength of the trend. I mean, when the trend was growing, the sellers coming in at the same with the same force. So when the price chart risen, and sellers came in again, and this situation was really not too clear for me in the matter of the trend. So I prefer the significant moves when the trend is obvious. And right now in this particular area, trend isn't obvious. So supply and demand are arguing, or buyers and sellers are taking they're flexing their muscles each other. They're trying to pretend who is stronger, and I prefer to wait for this situation to happen, that we see some buyers really take over the market, or the market will break out to the downside through those minimums level, support resistance 53.48, and we will see some continuation of the drop. So I prefer these two scenarios. And the range movement or sideways movement, even though it is moving a little bit higher and higher, you see, and at this area, and I'm not too much interested because I wouldn't prefer to buy without any pattern at those levels just because we are getting close to some minimums. Some minimums at this pattern really doesn't tell me that it is enough information just to buy. So as a conclusion, the trend at pound is changing or is consolidating. This argument between buyers and sellers is taking action. And the euro dollar is very different from the point when the pound was dropping aggressively. I was saying that just before those short action at the pound, the euro dollar showed us that he's tired of downtrend that happened before, right? So we had a downtrend and then it stopped to dropping down and buyers came in. We see this action like here, important buyers at the market. Then again, not too strong sellers coming in, and again, beautiful buyers coming in at the market. So euro dollar was ready to rise up, to change the trend for an uptrend. And then situation happened that this part of the chart saying us that euro dollar was following by the dropping trend at pound. So this was this situation when we see aggressive acceleration at pound, downtrend. So the pound driven euro dollar to come to the lower levels, even though euro dollar wanted to go in the uptrend. That's how I see it. So that's why the downtrend movement at euro dollar is not that clear as the at the pound. And I remember those situations because it happens like week or couple weeks ago that really those situations in euro dollar wasn't half of that my interest I've took at the pound when the trend was very clear. So I'm talking about this part of the chart, and euro dollar was really going down, but not so significantly, not so beautiful, this part of the chart. So at some point I was saying that this part of the chart is saying to us that no important sellers are already at the market. So the gravity of shorts took us to go lower and lower, but not because of the quality of the move. I'm saying not because of the strong sellers at the market. So what happened was the sellers were finished at the market. That's what I was saying a few days ago. And really, after that, we seen a dome beautiful pattern. You see this pattern right here? This part of the pattern already showed us that we are talking about the dome. And really, the market started to grow and it came down again. But you see, it is all connected in that pattern. So it came to the levels where where we see less lows, support resistance, and it came back to some kind of uptrend. So we are talking about the DOM, which at this size at 4-hour chart usually changes the trend. So from the some kind of a weak downtrend, we are changing the trend to an uptrend. And I'm not saying we are entering the market long right now. We are buying heavily, and just because the situation at the pound is very not clear. So I was saying just a couple of weeks ago, or week and a half ago, that if the pound started to consolidate or grow a little bit, it will give a beautiful signal to euro dollar to start rising aggressively. And that's really what it happened, because when the pound was dropping down, euro had to follow, but it didn't really want to. It wanted to grow. So when the pound started to consolidate or grow a little bit, we see action that the euro dollar is growing fast. And that's what's happening right now. And it's very interesting that at 30-minute chart, the correlation at the euro dollar and pound was negative. Just a couple of days ago or yesterday, it was a situation where the pound was dropping again aggressively. And take a look at 30-minute euro dollar chart at the same time. You see no downtrend action. the euro dollar was rising up. So we are talking about some small uptrend when the pound was dropping down significantly. So what it is telling to us, it is saying that we are having some kind of uptrend, pretty much heavy probably demand at some points, because the pound didn't driven euro dollar down in situation when it was really in a small downtrend, and the euro dollar continued to rise, and the pound right now is not really clear to me what kind of trend we see at 4-hour chart, but the euro dollar started to change the trend to an uptrend at 4-hour chart. That's what we see here, this situation. We will see if this move will continue, because I'm not sure how far we can go with euro dollar if the pound, for example, breaks out from those support resistance to the downside. Then we can see again situation when the pound will drive euro dollar lower and lower, like it happened here. That's what we can see and expect when those aggressive moves will occur. But there is also a suggestion that pound might be going higher in the future. First of all, driven by the euro dollar. If it's stronger, it will drive pound to the upside, or we can see some important demand coming at the pound independently. So we can see the demand here and there as well. Then euro dollar would have a great situation to go to the upside. And we will see those strong moves at 30-minute chart as well. So let's talk about a few sentences about gold. 4-hour chart, we broke out as I was predicting it for a few days ago, and from this rectangle beautiful pattern, and the price chart really didn't came back to this support resistance level. So it stayed at those levels, took a breath, and continuing to rise. So we'll see what will happen at those next support resistance, which are recent highs at the gold. Interesting opportunity could be when the gold would come back to this support resistance. We would see maybe a beautiful shadow like here from this point and come back to the uptrend. That could be a situation to buy some more if somebody didn't really make it to take an action at this point when it broke out from rectangle pattern. So that would be it for now. We will see each other again, probably 3rd or 4th January, I mean Monday or Tuesday, in New Year week, when the important action will come back to the market, when the traders and banks will come back after the Christmas and all the New Year's break, and I wish you a good time celebrating the coming new year, and I hope there will be some interesting actions in January. So thank you very much for listening. I see you soon.